Damien Bartonek on behalf of Fox West Texas and the official host of MMA Monday, the only MMA show in San Angelo. Hey, man, I'm joined by someone that I would consider a distant friend, man. He's a great friend. We don't talk all the time, but that's my boy, man. Alex Hernandez, my brother. Hey, man, how you doing, baby? It's so nice to see you.
Man, better now, man. Good to see you too, dog. Always good catching up. But yeah, feeling good. It's been a fat couple weeks for me and the boys. You know, the little team we got going on. So, yeah, man, I'm feeling pretty good.
Bro, love what I saw. What is this? 11, 12 days ago.
Yeah.
Back at the UFC 307. Tough fight, short notice, good opponent. And I felt like you had that fight in the bag. I scored it for you 29-28. And man, it's the Texas boy, the Colorado boy, the St. Louis, Missouri boy, all of them, came through on top. Man, just walk me through the craziness of taking a short notice fight and the fight itself. Just talk me through how all of this went down, man.
Yeah, man, it was man, a lot of getting back. You know, we just kind of recently started our own thing. Me, Brandon, and Clay. You know, Brandon Royval, Clay Matza. And we got a small kind of knit group with Royval kind of also coaching and training, and Luis Garul, who just got in the UFC this last Tuesday. And so, man, it's only like really the five of us, then we'll pull other people in. But we put together this tight-knit little crew. We're kind of doing this sort of Trevor Whitman model with a guy who just really tailor makes and focuses on a few guys. And so we've been doing that for last 4 or 5 months. And just trying to get like a good rhythm and really trying to find my mojo, you know, kind of shake off a lot of bad lessons and even kind of energy from FactoryX. And so we're kind of finding this groove, kind of getting this mojo. I was really feeling it. I've been just trying to get on a good, consistent wave myself. So I was already kind of dieting and just, you know, staying on the righteous path. But I saw the opportunity for this fight, and I just really need that aim. I need that target to shoot at. So I took it. I was like, yeah, you know, I feel ready. I feel like I've been in the lab, real consistent and doing good outside of it as well, in the sense of maintaining and keeping the body where it needs to be, the brain where it needs to be. And so, man, I was excited about that. I really dig. I dig if you're in the right position, give those short notice fights. There's no time to think about it. You know what I'm saying? You feel it, you're in the mood for it, and you go execute on it. And I really love that idea. So, and 55, of course, is manageable for that. And again, in this opponent, we knew he was going to be a real big guy. Austin Hubbard's a big, tough dude. I knew it'd be really hard to take him out. I was still confident that I could have done it. But man, he's large and tough. And it felt every bit of it, you know. And great camp. Kudos to those guys too, out of Bilal's gym there, Bilal Muhammad. And man, yeah, he's really done a lot of top level refinement of his game, I think. And going into it, some things I expected, but some things we didn't expect either. I feel like he trimmed a lot of the fat, you know, and he was real efficient, real pressure heavy. Of course, he had his size and everything. He was real aggressive on the blend, on the takedowns to the striking. There's a lot to deal with, you know, and he didn't run into as many traps as I kind of expected and try to lay for him. I had to go out of my way to get him a little bit more than I expected. But yeah, a good fight, you know, a good fight. I was annoyed with the decision calling there at the end, but it was all good. You know, he had a good moment. Probably the last 70 seconds of the fight got a little bit more contested. Otherwise, I felt like I kind of dictated everything up until that point. So yeah, man, a good challenge, a good fight. I was initially critical, but you know, as the dust kind of settled, graceful with myself, grateful, and appreciating the moment, man. Because I dropped the ball the last couple of times on the big arena like that, so it was good to go in and close the show against a tough guy like that.
Yeah, man, it was awesome to see as someone that, you know, knows you, but also as a fan, man. It was cool. My family, they all, you know, were around the TV watching the fight, and they were like, "Oh yeah, that's the guy. You know, that's the guy that you talk to. That's the, you know." And so yeah, man, it was awesome. My sister, my sister, she's pregnant right now, and she was like, "Wow, this guy is so thick. Like, why is he like his skin, his bones? He looks so thick." And I was like, I'm like, man, I was like, dude, he's a big guy. Like, I mean, you know, he's not the tallest guy, but he's very, very thick, bro.
He's a big body. Yeah, like you said, he's like maybe 5'10", 11, but just stalling, dude. So
yeah. I want to ask though, man. I saw you, Royval, and you know a couple of other guys. You kind of created your own little thing there. Royval obviously is world class. I believe you're on your way as well. I think you're finally starting to hit your prime. I think finally you're starting to put it all together. I do want to know though, what went into that decision? That's something that, because from afar, right? When I spoke to Royval before he fought Pantoja, he was, you know, it seemed like that y'all, you know, they were, you know, neck and neck, kind of fingers crossed, like together at the hip. But it seems like for some reason, I don't know what happened, but I just want to know what went into the decision to kind of break off and do y'all's own thing.
Man, it's been a real long time culminating. You know, the first year we went out there, we were guns blazing. The whole team was real hoorah. I think second year we started has some real character chips in the armor and issues that we started to try to address coming to light. Just yeah, some character flaws and some lack of accountability that started leading into lack of trust in a few ways. And I think by that third year, we're really coming to the head on a lot of big things. Big arguments, big discussions, and you know, and then that fourth year, the only reason we were there going into the fourth year was because Royval got the Moreno matchup. It was a short camp, so we were like, all right, I guess we just got to stay in it. And then I got booked while we were in that camp, and I felt like I could beat Jackson out of my garage. So I was like, man, we'll just stay in it, and then yeah, so it wasn't really till after all the dust settled that we were able to kind of have some hard talks and separate. But I think ultimately we just lost trust in the corner, and you know, you can't go to battle whenever you don't trust your cornerman. And objectively, if you're looking at the check you're writing and you feel terrible about it, you know, that's not really a good psychology going in pre or post, you know, fight. So it just didn't seem like the money was adding up to the work that was getting put in. And again, we ultimately just had kind of a trust issue. So we decided to go our separate ways. You know, a lot of guys are, and I hope everyone does real well this year, and guys that kind of find their new footing. But yeah, we're kind of trying to do our own thing on the side. Like I said, I really like this like private kind of tailored model, much like how Whitman was doing with like Gaethje, Rose, and Kamaru. That's how we're trying to play it, and we just pull in the guys we need to pull in. We cross train how we need to cross train. But we have this guy that we trust, that we look to. We collaborate real well all together, you know, talk a lot of shit, have a lot of fun. And it's cool, man. It's good energy. You know, we had a lot of fun these last few weeks.
Man, it seems like it. I mean, I saw obviously your performance was great, especially considering the circumstances. Like we said, man, you're a thick guy, big guy, no Diddy, but you know, you're a thick guy, and, bro. In the altitude, you were rolling, dog. So
yeah,
it looks like it's working out well. Royval this past weekend looked phenomenal. I mean, and by no means, for some people they thought he was going to get rolled over. And
dude, I'm mad. I'm mad we didn't put the house on that fight, man.
Yeah,
I couldn't believe those odds, dude. I couldn't believe them. They didn't make any sense at all.
He was nearly, I believe, a 4-1 underdog. And
yeah, it was like 3.5.
Yeah, it's like, is this the same Royval we just saw? You know, for lack of a better word, put the whooping on Brandon Moreno. Like we just saw this. Like
yeah. People get that recency bias. You know, he had a lot of criticism off that Moreno fight. They both did, which I was like, man, there were some things that, you know, we need to kind of sit on punch wise and improve. But I mean, he really took him to school, I felt like, in a big way. But instead of appreciating that, they were like, oh, Moreno looked off. And I'm like, you know, sometimes when you stand across from people, they tend to have that effect where it's like, oh, that person looks off. It's like they don't look off. It's just who they're standing across from. I was getting annoyed with some of the UFC guys afterwards with the Tyra thing, because they're like, oh, yeah, well, you know, I think once Tyra learns how to move his head, he'll be more dangerous. So I'm like, have you seen his highlights, man? He moves his head. He's nasty on the feet. We made him look like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We made him look like that. So, you know, sometimes it just becomes oh, that guy has an off day versus like, no. Look at the work that my boy's doing on the other end and making. He's creating these scenarios. He's creating these displays. And so, yeah, I couldn't believe the recency bias that was going on there, just buying into the hype of the new up and comer 16-0 and really not giving the respect due to the #1 contender. So, I mean, we had some friends really cash out on that fight, which is awesome. You know, we love being underdogs going into it. So that was pretty sweet.
Hey, being here in Texas, I cannot confirm nor deny. I can confirm and deny that I did not win anything on that. But let's just say I was very happy with the result.
Yeah.
And I mean, like you said, man, it wasn't anything too crazy. Brandon was landing the jab at will, jab. he was taking his head off with the one punch that we all learn in fitness boxing. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it was a beautiful performance, and I saw you there as well. One more question on just kind of the group you guys have. I want to know this. It seems like you guys, especially I heard you in the corner whenever they had the camera there. You're really into it, telling them, "Hey, baby, this is what we need right here. This is what we need." You're not saying I. Everything you've said is we. And so I want to know, man, how good does it feel alongside what I would assume to be one of your best friends and Royval and everyone else, working together, man, and working towards a goal of like, we want to see everyone succeed here, and we want to just continue to work hard. Not to say at your old gym that's what it was like, but what is it like? Yeah, what is it like?
Man. Yeah, I mean, you're right. There's definitely a separation because we always had each other's backs to support everybody at Factory, and really that's what kept us in there for as long as we did. We're the camaraderie, the brotherhood, the guys, looking out for each other. Really talented room, so really even avoiding the coach. It was really the guys, that kept growing each other, keeping everyone together, and the reason that a lot of people stuck it out the way they did. And there's a certain amount of brotherhood and love that goes into all those fights. But what we're doing right now, like you said, it's not just like your teammates and your boys. I mean, it's your best friend. It feels like your family. This tight knit group that we got. I mean, it's family. We, they were in my corner the week before. We were in his corner, and then we all decided to stay collectively for Luis, who was fighting on Tuesday, and now he's in the UFC. And those are only 3 fighters really that we have as our staple group. And so, man, whenever we fight, it's a different level of angst and compassion, really. We feel I mean, you feel it's your brother in there. And so yeah, it's cool. It's nerve-wracking, it's exhilarating, and it really makes fighting for yourself much easier, because I think cornering is just the worst job in the world, man. It's so hard, it's so taxing. You're not the one in control. And you better sound and be sharp in the moment, because you need to call the right things, and you need to make the right statements in the corner as well. You need to call it on the fly during the round, and then you need to say the right thing whenever that 60-second clock starts. And so it's a high pressure job. It's so nerve wracking because you care so much about the person going into it, and it's pretty cool thing to get to make the walk with them as well, because you're almost taking it all in vicariously, or really firsthand you are. And so whenever you go and fight, it's like, oh man, I've been here already a bunch. This honestly feels better than watching my boy go to do it. I know what I'm capable of. I'm warmed up. I'm ready to go. And so it kind of makes your own walk much easier. And then again, like you said, you're having your boys with you, whether you're the one making the walk or you're walking with them. And that unity, I feel like that's probably something like the Diaz's had like a great advantage in, where it was like, I'm not going to this thing alone. Like, I got my boy here with me, and we can do anything. It's been us against the world, and we're going to keep doing it. And so you got your corner that you trust and you love, and you can look to, and they're doing gangster shit. You're feeding on that. You want to go turn it up and do gangster shit. I mean, that was the most short-lived win of all time. I did that. I was good. Immediately had to go to Royval. Royval outshined the shit out of me, and then Luis went and put on a crazy performance also. And so I'm like, man, I feel like I haven't done anything in forever. I got to go get a fight.
Yeah. It's awesome, bro. You guys are definitely killing it, and I'm excited to see, especially 6 months from now, which I'm assuming after December. Well, not assuming, it better happen. Royval's going to get that shot, and
yeah, I think so.
And I believe, well, not I believe, I know I'm going to see you again at some point, whether it's December, January, February.
January. Yeah. I really think I'm aiming at it.
Yeah, well, that's what I wanted to ask next is, now that I think that you solidified yourself as, dude, you're in the UFC, you're here to stay. You ain't going anywhere. You fought your tail off. You've beaten some great fighters, whether it's short notice, full camp, doesn't matter. Now the only thing I feel is next, from my outside point of view, is now that consistency, right?
Yes. So, yeah, absolutely.
So, go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say, now that that consistency, that's what kind of needs to be established next. What's going to be your key, or what's some things that you're eyeing to be like, hey, if I can unlock this, or if I can do this, that's going to be my key to consistency? Is there something that you see already?
Yeah. It's something I think that's already in the works. I think it's already been happening since the Miller fight. I just didn't get the results I wanted at 45. And I don't think I also don't think I got the direction I needed. I take win or lose, I accept the accountability of it. But man, we've been going without direction to a lot of these fights, or kind of taking so and so's opinion, so and so, and trying to put together on my own. Right now, I feel like we can be really concise. The reason that we're doing the way we're doing, and we're not going into like another bigger gym, I don't have time to learn a new system. I need someone who can say, man, here's what you're really good at. Let's make it great. And here's what we're screwing up. Let's cut it. And let's move in like that. Let's organize and let's execute. Let's organize, let's execute. And for so long, the narrative has been, yeah, that didn't go our way, but hey, man, it's all in your head. It's all in your head, and you just need to work harder. I'm like, all right, I'll work harder, and then I'll try to figure out some of the mistakes. But then I go in, I'm making the same mistakes over and over again. And so for the first time in a really long time, I've got a coach with some direction, some experience, in the fighting himself and in the trenches, and really almost an autistic eye for the game. I mean, the dude's a fight nerd who just obsesses in it, and I really feel like we're carving out. You know, in this short time, we came up with some really good plans to fight against Hubbard that I think were executed beautifully. Hubbard did a freaking great job also, so it made it a harder fight than than we even expected. But I feel like with the direction we got on the team, good energy and enthusiasm is such a huge part of that. So we got that rolling. And then now I finally feel like I got the experience that rain, sun, or shine, I'm going to show up, and I've been inconsistent like that in the past. I feel like that was a really good marker at UFC 307 in front of 18,000 people in Salt Lake. I'm going to show up. And I feel like I've been showing up. And so, I got the fire. I feel pretty enthusiastic about things. I know what I want to do in my next fight. I know what I want to work on. I know what I want to see. And so I feel good about it. Consistency is everything, and I haven't had that. So, but if you cut those 45 losses out, man, I kind of have at 55. With the last couple of 55. So I'm going to stay at 55. I'm going to keep doing the thing, and I feel like we can get that, and then we can do that. Then man, we'll really be a powerhouse. I know Luis is going to do his thing. I believe Brand's going to keep doing his thing. I need to do my thing. And so I think we can do it together. I do.
Yeah, man, you just seem a lot different from the past other times that I've spoken to you. Very, not to say it wasn't like this before, but there's definitely a change in just in the sense of direction, the not to say tunnel vision, but the focus on what the main thing is, what the goals are. And that's awesome to hear. That's awesome to see, because that's kind of honestly one of the biggest steps, if not the most important, is identifying what you're going to do, what you want to do. If you're just going around willy nilly, man, your subconscious is going to take over. Your
exactly.
It's gonna be rough, but it's refreshing and also encouraging to see, like, hey man, hey, my boy definitely, and he's locked in to another level. Yeah. So it's pretty dope, man. My last one for you, and then I'll get out of your hair, man.
Sure, man.
We talked a little bit about when we could see you next, and so I want to know, man. You're not going to tell me when we're going to see you, but I want to know who are you eyeing? What are you wanting? What's the next time we see you in the cage? What's it going to look like?
Man, I don't have, any of these feelings of like relief from a fight. Like I very much feel this urgency to go do it again. Like I need to get it again. And in a very positive way too, because of, again, the guys I'm around are such fucking killers. I feel like I haven't done anything. So like I need to go get some work in. And I don't feel like getting fat. I don't feel like partying. I'm here in Texas right now. I just got here today. I'm gonna visit with my family. I'm in good health, so I'm just gonna stay in shape, visit with family, friends. Brandon knows that Dana White made that announcement or whatever, and so he's like, I might have a little bit of time, so he might try to convince me to make a little pit stop in Rio or Spain. I don't know. We're talking a little bit. Might do a little 4-day there, but for the most part, man, I just really want to get a little, like, a very mature reset, which is pretty much just seeing the people you love, resetting with them, and not doing anything crazy, and just staying consistent in the gym, and then really getting to work really hard when I get back to Denver. Of course, hitting up my Ohana family here in San Antonio while I'm here, but just getting back immediately, man, because that's all I really care to do. Sometimes that's the beauty of this short notice also, man. Sometimes you're in these long camps and let's say you have a killer wake like the 45, man. By the time I got done with that, it was like I don't want to look at anything for a month. I can't even look at it. Like I can't imagine like having to cook a meal. I can't imagine even having to go in the gym. I get so fried by the end of it. And I don't feel that now. I feel very energized about it, which, is probably what you're detecting a bit too. And so I want to keep that momentum, keep that energy. If you got it, man, you got to run with it. So I'm trying to scoop up another short if I can in December. If not, yeah, I want to get a book in January, February. Name wise, I got to look at it. My coach was sending me some ideas. I got to kind of look at who's available, see where we're at with it. But again, like I think it'd be so cool just to kind of pull the Kevin Holland angle for a season or two, and just try to keep sliding in on short notice calls, make a career like that. You really make a name when you do that. Holland did it, Cerrone did it, where you're just that guy and you rattle off 4 or 5 fights in a short span.
Yeah, yeah, and that would be awesome, man.
That'd be awesome.
That makes me happy to hear, bro. And I'm glad, I'm glad it's looking up, man. We're up, baby.
Yeah,
I just want
we're up.
the word to be back out there that we up, man. Like,
good to talk to you, Dave. Good to talk to you.
Hey,
Yeah, man, we're up.
hey, I just want to give you the floor, man. If there's anything that you'd like to let the fans know, let the viewers know at home, brother, the floor is yours, man.
Oh no, yeah, just a great 155, man. Super simple. If you're in Texas, man, Ohana Academy, One Academy. And then shout out to the boys back home, the dropouts.
Hey, man, you got to tell you or yourself and Royval, man. I need some of those gloves, man. After the fights, bro. I need a pair of those gloves. I need that and a little. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. All right.
I got a man cave, big dog. Hey, and y'all are a couple of my favorite fighters now.
All right. Yeah, we can probably work something out like that, bro. Shoot me a little message there. I'll go into the wares and see pull out some old gloves or something.
Hey, you're the man, big dog. Hey, I appreciate you again for your time, man. Always a pleasure speaking to you. And hey, man, all the best, my friend.
Appreciate you, bro. Thank you, man.
You have a good one.
You too, brother.